ready for the first time. Okay, welcome back again. Again, we're on the general discernment phase, the middle phase, where we're talking about the two states of life, marriage and consecration. Talk a little bit about the signs, a little bit also about the obstacles, and now we want to talk about the actual decision-making process and the different times when it's appropriate to make a decision and to do something. So there's basically 3 different times, different types of scenarios where people need to make a decision and choose it to move. The first one is what we call the lightning bolt. Someone has this explosion of knowledge where they know, okay, this is what I'm called, this is what I need to do. So this is a little more rare. Some people have this situation, but not everyone. But they have that experience where they just have no doubts. This is what I need to do. I need to consecrate my life, or I need to marry this person, or whatever the case may be. So that can happen. Although this still needs confirmation. It needs the confirmation of time. That it has to be something that lasts to make sure that it's not just a moment of enthusiasm. And it also needs the confirmation of a good spiritual director. So if you have a spiritual director, that can also help with this way of choosing. So the first one is the lightning bolt. The second, one of the more common ways to choose, is in that period where you're just kind of seesawing back and forth. We could call it the seesaw time. So you're thinking back and forth, you're weighing the pros and cons of consecration, of marriage, and you're trying to decide, where do I fit in? And this is the stage where you want to look at your own heart and feel, okay, well maybe in this situation as a consecrated person, I just feel more comfortable. I feel a little more peace. I feel maybe a little more consolation. And in married life, I feel a little less consolation. I feel a little bit less at peace. And there's some perturbation there. There's something that's just not quite right. Or it could be vice versa. It could be I feel better with marriage. Whatever the case may be, there's that's kind of the moment where you want to say, okay, if I feel more at peace in this direction, well, let's take a step. Let's try it. And so the lightning bolt, that moment of clarity, then you have the person who still needs to make a decision. He's seesawing back and forth. But Scott's going to talk about the last.
Yeah, the third time when you can choose is what we call the moment of peace. So you can think of a lake, no waves. It's a time of calm. It's a time where we really have a chance to just be with God, think about the things of God, think about the meaning of our lives, the goal of our lives, to become saints, to become the men or women God made us to be. And in this time, maybe there isn't a lot of seesawing in prayer, and maybe there is no great flash of lightning, but there are still ways that we've been given. So within this third time, there's actually, I'm going to say 4 ways where you can make a good decision. And the first way is what we might call the rational way. So those who are maybe a little more intellectual, into the head knowledge and things like that. And that literally is, get out a piece of paper, write marriage at the top of one page, write consecration at the top of the other, put a line down the middle of both pages, put pros and cons for marriage, pros and cons for consecration, and just make a decision really based on reason. Now you're basing that decision on reason, but it's still a Christian decision. So you take that decision to prayer, and you allow God to say, okay, God, here's what I think you're asking me to do, here's what I'm going to do unless you show me something different, tell me something different. I'm open to that. I just want to do what you want me to do. And if nothing comes back, then we move forward. If consolation comes back, we move forward. If instead something hits us like, oh, well, there's something not quite right here, either wait or no, you're going the wrong way, then we listen to that. The second way is a way of imagination. And we use our imaginations. I call the first type of this, my friend John. And my friend John is, imagine somebody else, not you, somebody else, but who's in your exact same situation. And you know everything about them because they're you, so you look at you thinking, okay, what would I tell someone else to do who's in my exact same situation? If it wasn't me, if I just love them as a Christian, if I want to become a saint, want to become holy, what would I tell them to do? And then write that decision down, take it to prayer, and ask God, look, God, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. Is it what I'm supposed to do? Tell me, help me. Again, if there's confirmation or nothing, we keep going. If instead there's something blocking us, then we at least wait, or maybe even bring that opposite decision to prayer and say, well, what about this? And see if that brings us any peace. The third way is kind of scary, but it can be fun too. If we go ahead to the future and we think about, we're 100 years old or whatever, we're on our deathbed or we're in our rocking chair and we're looking back on our lives, what do we wish we would have done? Or some people prefer to do, I'm already dead, I'm before God in judgment. What decision do I wish I would have made? Well, I wish I would have tried seminary. Well, I wish I would have tried to go visit a religious community or something. If that's what you say, yeah, I wish I would have done that, then that's what you take it again. Take it to prayer and ask God, again, consolations or nothing, move forward, desolations, stop, or maybe even try the other one. So that's the third way, is getting us remember the end, keep the end in mind and say, okay, if I'm at the end already, what do I wish I would have done? The fourth way is the practical way. So if you've been, at peace, you've got that 50-50 freedom, you're ready to do whatever God wants, and there's no lightning bolt, and you're praying about it, nothing happens, and you've thought about it, and you can't make a decision, and you've tried the different ways of imagination, and still nothing happens, then for some people, just try it. Try consecrated life, and see what happens. Try it at the seminary, or just, even if it's not directly entering into that experience, but visit, or check it out, or talk to somebody who's a vocation director or something. Begin to move in that direction and just ask God's help, and go somewhere that you think might be good or is somewhat attractive for you, like, oh yeah, I think I could see myself at that place, or I think I could see myself in that community. Well, then go and check that out, and just give yourself an experience so that you have more information, and then you'll be able to make a better, more informed decision. And so you're taking that, you're trying it, and then you evaluate, was there peace? Was there joy? Was it the opposite? And then, follow your heart and keep going that way, because that's how God is going to lead you.
And remember that it's important to try consecration first. Remember the principle that we talked about before. It's important to discern consecration first, and then once we discern that God is not calling us to that, then we can start discerning marriage. So when Father Scott's talking about trying, he's talking first, try consecrated life first. It's better to try that first than the opposite. If you try marriage first, then that's always bad, because then you have romantic relationships. But beyond all that, just the fact that because consecrated life is founded on the eternal, we want to test that, we want to taste that and see if that's where God is leading us first.
Yeah, exactly.
And this next video is...
Our next video is on if you are called to consecrated life or priesthood, how do you tell your family?